Hey, welcome to Cow-Free Kicks. On this channel I review leather-free sneakers only, and this video is all about the Adidas UltraBoost Light. Welcome to the channel. If you've not seen one of my reviews before, I always look into 5 different categories. They are looks, comfort, weight, breathability and price, and then at the end of the video I will give these Adidas UltraBoost Lights, or also the Adidas UltraBoost 23s, an overall rating out of 5 stars. If you do like what you see as you're going along, please do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device, and whilst you're down there, and if you have not already, please take time to subscribe to the channel. So let's start this review off then by first checking out these Adidas UltraBoost Lights on feet. So this is the initial colorway that's been released by Adidas for these UltraBoost Lights, but there are so many more colorways listed on the app and website as coming soon. So if this particular one doesn't take your fancy and it looks a bit too much like a running shoe, like it does in my opinion, there's many more colorways there that can definitely make these more of a lifestyle everyday shoe that's easier to style. Now, these are also being referenced as the Adidas UltraBoost 23s because they do follow on from the Adidas UltraBoost 22s. But the main difference about this shoe compared to all the other UltraBoosts that have been released previously is the fact that it premieres a new UltraBoost light cushioning system, which is 30% lighter than any previous versions and also has 10% less carbon emissions than any previous version. So not only is it more environmentally friendly, there's also less weight to this very chunky UltraBoost midsole. Now it's still really the same shape as it was previously. The cutaways are slightly different on this version than the 22s, but you've still got an incredibly large amount of chunky heel cushioning, and it does taper off to be quite narrow towards the toe. Now looks wise, the cushioning system doesn't really look that much different. It doesn't feel that different, but there'll be more about that in the comfort section about how it performs, and also in the weight section to see if this sneaker is overall 30% lighter than the previous version. Now on the upper, you've still got this prime knit upper that was used on the previous versions, 50% recycled polyester, 50% recycled Parley Ocean Plastic, making this sock-like upper that's got heat embossed detailing around the toe box, a little bit more at the top of the tongue with an overlay of some TPU Adidas branding, TPU plastic cage in the middle of the sneaker with the Adidas branding to hold these laces in and secure over the top of the bridge of your foot. When you move towards the heel of the sneaker, there's an addition of some new kind of padding towards the back of the shoe, just to make it feel a little bit more robust. You've got this TPU plastic cage as well that sits around the heel cup. It's slightly different cut to how it was previously. There's less of it visible because it sits more on top of the UltraBoost system than it did on previous versions. The outsole for the sneaker, very similar. Now the cutaways and the kind of positioning of the rubber is slightly different to previous versions, but you've still got the continental rubber. But overall, not too much to talk about with the outsole. You've still got the LEP propulsion system that's a plastic insert that you can just see here in the red that sits underneath the ball of your feet to help propel you when you are running. But overall, there's not too much different looks wise. It's mainly about the fact that you've got a much lighter new UltraBoost system in this shoe. Now I want to move on to their comfort, where I want to put this new UltraBoost system to the test on my back doorstep. So you can see from the step test that you do get a nice amount of responsive bounce back and cushioning from this UltraBoost Light midsole system. But when I first put these on, having recently tried on the Nike Invincible Run 3s and the Diadora Atomo V7000, which for me are 2 of the most comfortable pairs of sneakers I've ever had on my feet, I wasn't underwhelmed, but I just wasn't very whelmed by the fact that I was wearing a pair of UltraBoosts. I found them not as responsive as previous versions. Now I don't know whether that's because the specifications of this new lighter Ultra Boost system mean that they're not as cushioned and don't give as much responsive bounce back as previous versions. But don't forget, this particular version of the Ultra Boosts does have this LEP propulsion system you can see that's highlighted in the orange here on the outsole of the shoe, and it's built in to the Ultra Boost midsole system underneath your feet. So whilst it is quite flexible, they bounce back incredibly quickly, which does mean that they do ride slightly firmer than other Ultra Boost versions. And I did find it with previous versions of the shoe with this LEP system that it takes the fun out of wearing a pair of Ultra Boosts. I love the cloud-like, cushiony, squidgy feeling you get with them. You just don't get that with this shoe. So don't get me wrong, they are very comfortable under feet, but just not taking my breath away in any way at all, really. On the upper of the sneaker, they're very comfortable. As always, this Primeknit Plus upper is really nice and soft and sock-like. There's really nice additional padding towards the heel, which I felt really did cushion very nicely. I like the fact that they fit well, but don't forget, go half a size up on these Adidas Ultra Boosts. Every pair of Adidas Ultra Boosts I've ever had, I've always had to go half a size up, so I kept that. With this version, went half a size up and they fit perfectly. Width-wise, as you can see from the bird's eye view, they've got a very wide toe box. I've got slightly wider than average feet, and because this Primeknit's very forgiving, I didn't have any issues with the width on this sneaker. Just overall, I just don't find them fun, if that makes sense, anymore. I just feel like they're too much of a running shoe and less of a lifestyle sneaker that makes me want to wear them every day. Now, I want to talk more about their weight, where I want to pop them on the scales and see if this 30% lighter Ultra Boost has made a difference to their overall weight. Coming in at 330 grams, these Adidas Ultra Boost Lights are a lightweight shoe. I class anything below the 350 gram mark to be considered a lightweight sneaker. Anything below the 300 gram mark is insanely lightweight, and anything above that and towards the 400 range, you're talking about a heavier shoe. So 330 grams is a really nice result, but I do think Adidas have missed a trick with this sneaker. Now, they've said that this new Ultra Boost Light cushioning is 30% lighter than previous versions, which is great. But the Adidas Ultra Boost 22s with that heavier Ultra Boost cushioning came in at 367 grams. So you're only saving over, what, 10-12% on the previous version? But Adidas have cut 30% from the midsole, so you would expect to have a higher weight saving than you would be provided with in this shoe. But possibly because you've got more padding around the heel unit. This TPU cage heel cup at the back feels a little bit heavier set, and also I think this grey area towards the outsole is definitely a lot more rugged and heavier than previous versions. But overall, it's not a disappointing result, but I think they've missed a trick by saving 30% on the midsole, but only just over 10% of the overall shoe weight on the previous version. Now, I want to talk about their breathability, where I want to pump this Primeknit full of smoke to see how breathable it is. Not the greatest result breathability wise. You can see the smoke came out, especially in this toe box area, but incredibly laboured and slow, kind of just crawled out and flopped over the toe of the shoe. It didn't come out in large amounts and it didn't come out very quickly, possibly because this Primeknit upper is very sock-like. So when you've got a pair of socks on, they obviously stretch, and it's the same with this upper. These holes do stretch a little bit when you've got your feet inside the shoe, but even when you look at them when they're on their feet, these perforations don't get very big. So I just don't think they're going to offer that breathability that I would expect from like a premium running shoe or lifestyle sneaker, especially when you're spending £170 on this shoe. So when I'm talking about price for a pair of sneakers, I want to see if they're value for money. Compared to their competitors that come in at a similar price that I've reviewed recently, like the Nike Invincible Run 3s, I don't think these offer great value for money, because I'm just not very excited by it, to be honest. I was when I saw that it was a new boost system, but I don't think it's an improvement on the last one. If anything, I think there's less of that bouncy, cushioning softness that you expect from a pair of Ultra Boost. And that's going to bring me on to my overall score for these shoes, which is going to be a very box standard 3 stars. I just don't think I get them. I don't think I understand this shoe from an Adidas sales point of view. Yes, they're light. They are lighter by 10%, but overall, they've mentioned 30% here and lightest shoe ever here, and it's just not, for me, that exciting a shoe. And I just worry where Adidas are going with their sneakers. I think they've dropped off a little bit, especially when it comes to Nike and some of the smaller brands that are really coming up, like New Balance and Solomon, really making a name for themselves. I just think Adidas have got lost, and this shoe kind of for me is a reflection of that. So 3 stars is really the most I can give it. I just think there are much better shoes out there for the price. Now, if you like what you've seen today, please do not forget to give the video a thumbs up like before you leave. You can also follow me on Instagram, drop any comments below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.